Good afternoon, fellow Toastmaster members and the guest, distinguished guest. And I'd like to call the meeting to attention. I'd like to introduce President?
Yes.
Mr. John Watson.
Thank you very much, Izumi. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and most distinguished guests. Tawanda, would you like to introduce yourselves? Despite all of us knowing you, we would enjoy the formalities.
I am Tawanda L. Duck, and I'm the area director this year for Area D4, and I'm also vice president of education for Bay Cities Toastmasters that also meets in Torrance on Tuesday mornings at 7:30.
Coffee.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Tawanda. Today we have a small but dedicated group of Toastmasters who will be led and inspired by one of our youngest and newest members who is new to our group but not new to Toastmasters as an organization, and that is none other than Ivan Yermakov.
I'm glad to be your host for the day. I'd like to start with filling in the roles. We need one more helper for today. Could anybody take the role of the timer?
I can do timing.
Indeed, Wanda.
I can do timing.
Oh, you already had it? Good.
And as a reminder, if you introduce your role as if we were new and never knew anything about Toastmasters, Wanda, could you tell us what the timer does?
As timer, my role is to time table topics and the speeches and evaluations. Do we just have one speaker?
Speaker today, unless John wants to volunteer as he usually does.
Let's take an extended table topic session.
All right.
We've got the box.
Izumi, is your speech 5 to 7 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. At green, at 5 minutes, I'll hold up the sign, the green. I'll hold up the amber or yellow at 6. And I'll hold up the red at 7, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. For table topics, I will hold up green at 1 minute. I will hold up yellow at 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I will hold up red at 2 minutes, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. And for evaluations, I'll hold up green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5 minutes, red at 3 minutes, and you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Perfect, thank you very much, Wanda. And the next person who's helping me today is our grammarian counter for the day, John Robert Wilson. John, could you tell us what we're doing?
Thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and most distinguished guest. As the grammarian for the day, I will be looking throughout the entire meeting for the proper use of the English language, as well as pleasant utilizations of unique grammar and wordage. In addition, I will be looking for the dreaded clutch words, and I will be marking those with the marble on the table today to remind you to avoid them, to pause, take a breather. For the first session, I will be just looking for that. However, during the table topic session, I will explain my additional roles for that session. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, John. So Miss-Anne, would you possibly be of being ballot counter?
Yes.
You've been always ready for the first role.
Yes.
Could you count the ballots for us? Thank you very much. And with that said, I'm excited to go into our prepared speeches session. Our first and the only speaker of the day is Izumi Walker, who is one of the most loyal members of the group, because I always see Izumi coming to the meetings, and also one of the most energetic members of the group, because Izumi inspires us with her exercises every day. She is delivering speech for us from the Competent Communicators Manual. It is speech number 6, vocal variety. And the title of the speech what's good about getting old. Please welcome Azumi Walker. Excuse me.
I'm very nervous. The other day, I went to a restaurant with my husband Bill and my son Chasey. And so it's not bad to getting old if you have an experience that help you to be happy and enjoy your life more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Liz. I really enjoyed your speech. I don't want to steal evaluators role from Tomo, but you did an excellent job. And by the way, the fact that people ask me for driver's license in grocery stores when I'm running out to go does not mean that I look young. They just have to do it. And if it was me, I think you were 20 years from your driver's license being checked at grocery stores discount.
They never ask me at the grocery store for the liquor anymore. They trust me.
With that said, we're going into our next session, prepared, non-prepared speeches, table topics. And I would like to invite here our table topics master of the day, Mr. Thomason. Could you please also introduce your team? Thank you.
Thank you for attending, fellow Toastmasters. I thought today's theme is, how do you pronounce this? Kaleidoscopic. So I thought that is the theme, but actually this is the word of the day. So I looked into what this is. So we know this. The some small tool, we can see different color or different shape by changing the angles. So yeah, I always interpret this kind of thing to life. So yeah, you can see different, you can perceive different ways, even though you see the same thing. So by person, by timing, and by the situations, people perceive many ways. So I prepared some shape and color, very simple, blue circle and rectangular red. I'm going to give you one paper, and I will pick a person, and I'd like the person to explain what do you think when you see the paper, and especially 30 minutes some negative experience, and later 30 minutes good experience which occurred by seeing the shape. So now we can share, even though we have the same shape, but the same shape derives different experience. Shuffle, please. Yeah, shuffle more. Oh yes, yes. Yes, in this topic session, I'd like to introduce a timer. Kiwanda, would you introduce your role?
For table topics, I'll hold up green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute and 30 seconds, red at 2 minutes, and then you'll have 30 seconds to wrap up.
Thank you. And now grammarians, John Robert, could you introduce your word of the day and your role?
Yes, thank you very much, Table Topics Master, fellow guests, and most honored guests. Today's word of the day is kaleidoscopic. This is having complex patterns of colors, multicolored, kaleidoscopic diamond patterns. The synonyms include multicolored, many-hued, variegated, particular colored, varicolored, psychedelic, random, polychromatic, made up of a complex mix of elements, multifaceted, and a kaleidoscopic range of topics. So it can also be used as a metaphor or an analogy, I believe, is how it can also be used. So I will be looking for you to use the word of the day in your table topic speech. In addition, I will be tracking the rest of your grammar usage as I have been doing throughout the rest of the day. Back to you, table topics master.
Thank you, John, for the introductions. And yes, now as I explained minutes ago, okay, I'm gonna pick up a person. Do you understand? Could you share your experience, your negative experience and positive experience with from that shape and colors?
My negative experience and positive experience in the 2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay,
2 minutes, 1 minute? Table topic.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
okay, great.
Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. Yes.
2 minutes.
Yes. In total, 2 minutes.
Total in 2, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on my turn.
We have enough time to go twice. Yeah. So give her 2 minutes.
This is my picture. I am an optimist, so I usually see the glass as half full. When I look at this picture, I see some animal that is happy because he's smiling. So things in his life are pretty good. And we all know that when things are going pretty good in our lives, we are happy. When our family is fine, when work is fine, when the traffic on the 405 freeway is light, we're happy. This is a good 405 freeway day for this little animal. Now, when I look at this picture from a negative side, it looks like a piggy bank to me. Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. We did well though. But I never really got money to put in the piggy bank. And when I did have money to put in the piggy bank, it didn't last for very long because there was always something that I wanted. And fortunately, you can't see it here, but this is not one of those piggy banks that you have to break open to get the money out. There's a stopper underneath. So you put money in, and then you pull out the stopper, and you take money out. The positive side of this is he's a happy animal. The negative side is wasn't able to hold money because there wasn't a lot, but I turned out fine anyways. Thanks.
Thank you for explaining your experience with referring that cute small animal. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes people who focus on the a negative aspect, they have some high expectations. That is also a good thing to think. It should be called critical thinking. So we can share how you people here have a good critical thinking, not negative. But with that said, Ivan, would you share your experience with your red rectangular small animals?
Thank you, Thomas-san. I do have kind of similar shape. And when I saw it, I thought about a piggy bank, just like the one said. What's positive about piggy bank? I think a little bit of savings never hurt. Doesn't matter how much you make, if you put aside a few dollars at a time, it can help you in case of crisis or it can even help you when you're trying to reinvest the money. It all depends. I'm a strong believer that you can always put some money aside, and that's a positive thing about piggy bank. Always remember there is a rainy day, put some money aside. Negative thing about it, well, not everyone thinks about savings. It took me some time living with my wife before we got on the same page about money management. This kaleidoscopic trend of goals, things change all the time, and we want this, and we want that, and we want something else. That makes it difficult to save, so you need to have a purpose. So, on the negative side of piggy bank is you first have to determine what you're saving for. For us, right now, most important is saving for our son's future. So that's what we're dreaming about. And we started our little savings account for his future college tuition and so on. I think overcoming the negativity of different changing goals and unstable desires brings the positiveness of stability and knowing your goals and saving for the future. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Ivan, for sharing the more like how to design your long-term goals. It sounds very engineering mind. All right. Could Izumi-san share your experience with that round? Is that round? Yeah, round blue shape.
You say learn in the round blue shape.
Yes.
So, when I was speaking, I think people can learn no matter how old they get. And when I start speaking in front of everybody, I always get nervous, and then I saw like many color fireworks, kaleidoscopic color in my head going on. And I look at each person here, and when I look at Yolanda-san, she smiled back to me, and it made me so easy to like come down a little bit. And sometimes when I look at people, they stare back to me, and I get really more nervous. So I learned from her today and how to listen to the people and how make it feel easier for a speaker today. And the negative side is sometimes no matter what it's learning, it's come from your personality, and you never able to learn different habit. My husband say I have a weird sense of humor, and I wanted to speak one things today, but he told me I'm too weird. The story is too weird, so he told me not to. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. So, one thing I wanted to tell is that when you get old, only multitasking you can do is when you sneeze, you can fart and you can pee at the same time. He said that's too weird. Don't say that in your speech. But yeah, I'm not there yet. Don't be alarmed when you hear me sneezing. But sometimes people don't learn. I did it anyway.
Thank you, Izumi-san, for your family story. We are pretty much encouraged to share your personal life. Okay, so last person, would John share your experience with referring the round
Brown and blue learn.
Yes. maybe Ivan should take over the.
You just have to make something, say something that I can count. Otherwise, I know you'll be recording.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master, as well as Toastmasters' most honored guest. I have a proclivity in my life where I am overwhelmed by a kaleidoscopic array of interest. So to see a word that says learn makes me realize that I probably do not have enough time in my life to learn all the things that I want to learn. Right now, I just picked up a book on statistical analysis. I am practicing boxing. I am learning to rebuild my motorcycle engine. I rebuilt the carburetor on my motorcycle. I am learning how to use a Macintosh again. I'm learning 2 new softwares on that. I am in Toastmasters. I also have a book on facilitation and design work. I am starting a mentorship program on Thursday for young designers at my former college. There is absolutely not enough time in my life for me to learn everything that I want, and I really hope, although I don't want life extension, but maybe I do want that. As a part of my life learning, when I was younger, I grew up in a very, very religious family. And in my high school years, I departed from that path and I began to study other spiritual paths at that time. And during that exploration time, a friend of mine invited me to his church, and I met the youth pastor at the time, and I have a tendency to see people's colors. When I meet people, like Zumi was saying, you kind of see fireworks or something, and sometimes I see different colors or just different feelings that I get from these people. And this gentleman had been a police officer here in Los Angeles County, the worst of society he had seen before he became a pastor. And when I met him, I just was overcome with the idea of blue and learning, which is very much this symbol, and that reminds me of the things I learned from him when I was younger. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you for sharing your challenging life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time we hear your story, we are very motivated to challenge multitask life. And do we have a time to go around?
Yes, we do. We actually have a bunch of random questions if you just want to use these.
Okay.
Or you can go through your colors again.
Yeah.
We'll just switch?
To swap?
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who has a red rectangular one?
Me and Izumi.
You guys spoke just now, so could Chibanda-san share your valuable?
Yeah. Kaleidoscopic, okay. I now have Blue Learn. This is an interesting word for me because I, somewhat like John, I love to learn different things, and I'm always trying out different things, and I'm a little bit adventurous. I'm not as organized, or my plate is not as full as John's with everything that he wants to do, but with me, I use every moment as a learning experience. It could be talking to someone on the street. I meet people everywhere I go. People are always coming up to me and sharing stories with me. My daughter was always amazed that we would be in the grocery store and people would walk up and just start talking to me. And I use that moment as an educational experience for her by saying, we live in a world where people feel invisible and people want to matter. They just want to matter. And so take a few minutes and stop and have a conversation with them. Learn about them. Ask them questions. People want to share. And that's one of the parts of my life that I enjoy, is that I meet everyone and take time to spend to talk to them. Thanks. I have a variety of kaleidoscopic conversations. Trying to get that in. I still had time.
Yep. Thank you for the last minute usage of the word of the days. Yes.
Got it in.
Okay. With that round blue learning experience, Ivan-san, could you share your experience about that?
I think in Toastmasters, people come to Toastmasters to learn, and that's why we have such an inspiring group of people who have multiple different interests. I myself have a lot of things I'm interested in. In fact, most of my recent life, I've been learning how to reduce number of things I would like to learn. That's one thing. Also, there are multiple things that you learn not from books, but like Wanda said, you learn from people. When I completed my petroleum engineering classes, I went through tons of books, but in the field things tend to be different. So what I did, I started writing down in my organizer, in my notebook, I started writing down every day what I learned from people, because those experiences were more valuable than actually any book. Well, you can't actually mix these two things. Why? Oh, I didn't read that. But people know, so I'm learning from people. But what I would like also to do is to learn how to keep the ball rolling, learn how to organize myself, learn how to focus on the most important things in my life, and just keep this ball rolling. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan-san. It's very impressive. Representations. It's very. So I should learn more vocabulary to express my feedback. Okay. Anyway, who has a? Oh yes, next one, the red rectangular one. Izumi-san, could you share your red experience? Yeah, red experience.
There's a many color those big colors in the world, but this has a red. And because I'm Japanese, I know what this means. This is wild boar. And 2019, you see the little teeth hanging out? That's a wild boar. And 2019, it's gonna be year of wild boar.
Mm-hmm.
So the red means a lot of times we use in the new year. It's a happy color, and we have a different. We said people has a different personality depending on the year they are born, and that's why when there's a year of dragon, there's a lot of Chinese babies because that's the year, and they start trying to have a baby at that time. And the second one is tiger. And the boar is, I think they have some target or goal, they run for it. And the bad part is they run before they think about it. So it's like you have a gun, you shoot it, and then you aim at the later. So there's a good and bad with wild boar personality who is born that year. That was my mom too.
Thank you, Izumi-san, for sharing Japanese and Chinese theme of the animal in the year. Okay, yes, John, could you share your rectangular experience?
Yes, I can share my rectangular experience, table topic Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. I was gonna try and not talk about my wife, but I'm going to talk about her anyways. So she is not a bore. However, knowing that this is completely incompatible with my sign, so we were talking today about horoscopes because Ivan is a Scorpio and his son is a Scorpio and I'm a Scorpio, and we were talking about her personality traits of Scorpios. We're cold, unforgiving, we often sting, we have the personality of these little creatures, and there's a bunch of other mystique about them. I have a weird characteristic in that I'm a monkey. So I have a lot of tricks and jokes, and I like to have fun. And when I met my wife, I wasn't looking for a Japanese woman. They were beautiful, but just not my thing. And then I met her, and well, okay, we got there. So then I checked her horoscope. Oh, she's a tiger. Oh, that's not gonna work. So there's all these things about her that just shouldn't have worked. It wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't a compatibility for me. And just a kaleidoscopic array of things that I thought were gonna stand in the way of us getting together. And like all horoscopes, they're just there for us to have fun. And at the end of the day, we overcame all of those things, and we're enjoying our life together. Back to you, Favorite Topics Master.
Thank you for sharing your family story again. These people are.
I'm a Gemini tiger.
That's why I get along with you.
Is that why?
No. Gemini is, you're the twin, right?
Or I've been told I have multiple family members.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Tony.
That's fun. By the way, I'm gonna YouTube this, but can we share this in public or just inside us? I'm recording this.
Yes.
Oh. I
So
remember.
going up to YouTube?
In public or just our member, Toastmaster member.
It's up to them. I think Kazumi is very concerned about being publicly. So if you want to share it internally, then we only can see it.
Yeah.
And I,
What of your story? Can it be in public or should be?
oh, my wife knows.
Oh.
But I don't think I'd said anything
Right.
too overtly racial or.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Yeah. So as for Izumi, I would recommend watching your video again. It's a good learning tool. I hate listening to my voice, but it's the best way to learn is watch yourself over again.
And again and again and again.
Yeah.
Except Izumi-san's speech and the table topic thing, we share these videos in public on all over the world.
I like that. I like that.
I'm glad I was not in the table topic speaker. Yes, I hate to improve my English sometimes. All right. With that said, we have enough time. Yes.
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
Next section.
Now,
Evaluate.
I'd like to ask for. I'd like to call for timer's report. Who is a timer? Yes, timer.
For the evaluations,
For table topic session.
Table topic session.
in terms of if everybody qualifies?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, everybody qualified. I didn't write down times because no one went over.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And what about grammarian report?
Thank you very much, Table Topics, fellow Toastmasters. All speakers qualified at least once during the session, so all speakers are qualified for voting. So at this time, you can please cast your votes and pass them to the vote counter, Izumi.
Oh, okay.
Tawanda, I don't think you used kaleidoscopic on the first speech, but you did on the second one.
Right, I did
so-
it on the
yes.
first one.
As Johnson said, please vote for the best table topic speaker to hand it to
To Zoom?
Zoom.
If you can pass that. Back to Ivan.
Am I going to include general evaluation.
You'll pass it to Ivan. Ivan's being the
Level.
evaluator.
Yes.
This is the
Yeah.
Mr. Thomason.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Mr. Thomason, who is the general evaluator.
Oh, he's also general evaluator. Oh, okay.
Yes. With general evaluations, today we have more people came compared with last time.
Hmm.
Yes, good. It's a good thing. And today we had a new guest, Miss Tiwanda San, who is a District 1 officer, correct?
Right, area director.
Kind of big shot. We had a big shot guest. Yes, sorry for if it's inappropriate usage. If it is inappropriate usage. Yes, and we started the meeting on time, and we have one valuable speakers, and yes, we went smoothly, and especially table topic sessions, we shared a lot of stories, including family, very personal story. It is good sign that it is good sign to see to tell our member is very tight community. We have tight community. We can share the personal stories. With that said, overall, we are having good meeting, and we will know the over situations end of the meeting. Okay, that is my general evaluation.
You also have the Izumi's evaluation.
Yes.
Are you doing that or?
Yes, I'm doing that. Okay, next session is evaluation session. I think the Toastmaster introduced evaluation session.
General evaluator.
Introduces-
Point of
okay.
order, general evaluator runs the
Okay.
session.
Right. Yes, as a general evaluators, I'm proceeding evaluation sessions. Evaluator number 1, Tomo Shinkawa. Okay, Tomo Shinkawa. So, okay. Izumi-san, thank you for raising up your stories, and it is very descriptive stories. You said you are nervous. We don't know what your thought. You are nervous. Your conversation, your speech flow is very smooth and very that tells very explanative stories, and the story was very representative and sounded and it was very well prepared, and I was very impressed. I think you improvised to involve all attendees here into your stories, and you use autopilot, which I could be triggered, and the other I did not take down. You used several words that sounds very interesting to all attendees. So all attendees can be involved into your story by you referring small words. One thing I could bring up here to improve your story is it could have been introduced your speech structures in the beginning of the story. So that was very good to start. You started your story very momentarily. You started with that scheme of starting the speech. People can get attention to your stories. So then people become more interested to your story, like what is the next thing, what is the next event you are telling. So that is there is good point and bad point, and if I could bring up one improvable point, I would want to hear. I would want to know what you are talking about in this speech. That's all I have today. And the evaluation session, I will call for the timeout report.
You spoke at 2 minutes and 37 seconds, and you qualified.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Please vote. I'm not committing anyone, so you don't have to vote. All right. Yeah. Call for the grammarian's report.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and most honored guests. Today we had a very good meeting in regards to grammar. Izumi, I wanted to point out that you use triads very well within your speech. I believe this is the correct word or usage of the term. So you referred to my knees hurt, my ankles hurt, and my elbows hurt. And then when you talked about the people within the audience, you talked about Tomo, Ivan, and John. So the rhythm of three tends to create a very impactful element to your speech, which drives home the purpose, meaning, and intention that you wanted to give. So I really like that. You also used a couple analogies, which was life is like wine, it gets better with age. So those types of things also add color and depth to your speech. As on the improvement side, I noticed that there is a little bit of a tendency amongst our members. We went through a phase of lip smacking, which seemed to permeate all of us. And now the "and" clutch word seems to be permeating all of us. So before you do the "and," "and," "and so," pause, slow down, take a deep breath, and continue on. And I saw you do that a couple of times during your speech where it was on the tip of your tongue. You wanted to say the clutch word, but you carried on with your speech as if nothing happened, and you caught yourself. And that's what we're looking for. So keep up the good work, Izumi. Everyone else, keep moving forward, and we will become better speakers as we move forward. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, John, for very deep evaluation in grammar side, in grammar point of view. I think I should make a general evaluation here.
Yes. However, you are okay at this point.
Yes, I did. Yeah, as I said, we started on time and blah 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 blah. And yes, after all general evaluation sessions, yeah, as I forecasted, we did have a good meeting. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna return to this meeting to Toastmaster Ivan.
Thank you, Thomas-san. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Make it wonderful coming. As you can see, this is very small but really dedicated group.
Yes.
And I believe no one wants to give up. We'll be coming and we'll be delivering speeches no matter how small the group is. Would you like to say anything? Would you like to give us any feedback?
Yes. This was actually a great meeting. I love how you guys work together, how everyone works together collectively to pull it off. I enjoyed your speech and your evaluations, and you're a great Toastmaster. You kept us moving along, and Toastmaster is one of the most important roles, right? All the roles are important, but Toastmasters is the one that sets the tone, and you kept us on track, and that was great. And this is my second time here. I do typically work on Monday. There are times that I take time off to come to visit you guys, and I'm glad I came today. This was great.
Thank you very much. Yes, I was thinking about the topic for today, the kaleidoscopic. I was thinking that no matter how many times you turn, you have to have something, the core or the goal that you're looking at. Pictures may change every day, but the core needs to stay the same.
Right.
With that said, and on a positive note, I would like to present the awards.
Yes. And we're on the
Drum
right
roll.
direction.
Best speaker of the day, Sumi-san.
Woo! It was close, okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well,
The best evaluator of the day, Yama-san.
okay.
And, drum roll. Best tabletop speakers, Tawanda and John Brother.
Oh. 2 winners today, yay.
We can share it.
We can share. Are we gonna share?
Tawanda.
3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
We'll give this to you, Wanda.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna let you have it. Thank you.
And once again, thanks everyone.
Nope, you hand over
And I would
point of
like to
order.
Call here, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Postmaster. Excellent job today, Ivan, and thank you for filling in today. Before we close out, I want to look to Tawanda. Are there any announcements from the district that we should be aware of? Any events coming up?
The announcements that I have are, it's time for dues. Dues are to be paid by September 30th.
Okay.
We actually aren't having a fall contest. The district decided that we're just going to have the international contest, so there's no fall contest. And that's pretty much what's going on now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tawanda.
You're welcome.
Also wanted to open up to the group. So Ivan and I are going to be a little busy in October. However, there's going to be a small gap between October and November because we're going to get busy again in November. I would like to schedule an open house probably that second or third week of October. So hopefully, Tawanda, you will be available to attend that. We do have plenty of budget in our bank account, so let's I want to print off flyers, I want to get some lunch in here, and let's get some people outside and inside to come visit us so we can drum up a membership for that. So Tomo, let's work together, Azumi, Ivan, let's take a lunch and brainstorm through on this. The next one, I also noticed that a lot of us are filling leadership roles pretty often, but I don't know, I haven't seen someone with their Competent Leader book for a while, and I want to make sure that everyone is progressing on their Competent Leader. Like you just did an evaluation, so someone should fill out your evaluation of your evaluation, because as leaders we need to learn and improve both on our individual contributor levels, which is what we're doing at the speaking level, but we also need to be contributing at the leadership level. The next one, Tawanda pointed out, the website is outdated, so I will log in hopefully tonight or sometime this week to fix that, to fix our schedule. I'm going to vote, and I want to know if everyone is in agreement. First and third week of every month is our meeting rather than every other week, because from a website standpoint, it's hard for people to understand when to come.
Right.
If it's every other week, is it this week or the other week? So to avoid having to update calendars, I want to vote for first and third. Does anyone have any contradiction against that? No? Okay, good. First and third week, unless you want to do second and fourth.
That doesn't change, it does not change.
Second and fourth is just easier for us because we have a study. Yes?
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah.
It has like a report due sometimes.
Okay, so first of the month is difficult for you, Azumi?
It's easier if it's second than.
Okay, so second and fourth. So second week and the last week is what we're gonna go for. That's what I'm gonna update it to. Okay, second and fourth week. Next question, yes?
Do you have flyers? I actually attended a meeting with Parsons Communicators, and Ken Starks, who's the program quality director, actually had flyers that he made for them, and I asked him to send it to me in Word.
Mhm.
Would you like for me to send it to you, or do you guys have a standard one that
We
you
use
use?
the Toastmasters one.
Okay, because this is the Toastmasters
Okay.
one.
So yeah, we have the Toastmasters one. I just need to print more.
Okay.
So Kinko's was a little expensive, so I think I just need to get some paper and run them here at the office.
Okay,
Yeah. And it's because I think we're all out of them. We had them, they've just kind of disappeared.
okay.
So we need to get more flyers. Tomo, before you leave, I know you're trying to run out of here. Can you share with us next week's agenda?
Next week.
Yes, do you have the lineup of who is in what role?
Yeah, I don't have that now with me.
Please send it to us
Yes.
at the next meeting, and for next meeting, please bring the next
Okay.
meeting's
Yeah, sure.
agenda, so
Okay.
that we can make sure that everyone's aware of their roles. Also, please pick a current member who hasn't showed up. Kathy, Ankur, Serge, reach out to them, send them an email, tell them they're missed.
Can we have some 30 seconds promotional video here to give them message? You
We could
guys-
do that if you
yeah,
want.
And I will send it to them directly. Via YouTube. Like just 15 seconds or 30 seconds.
We can do that, we can
Yeah,
do that if
we
you
can-
want.
we can just, or we can talk to this video. This is a 360 video.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Hey, to Kathy. Hey, could you?
Yes, I can do that. Team Alpine, this is Toyota Toastmasters here at Denso 10, and we just have a big message that we want to say to you all together. 1, 2, 3. We miss you. Come and join us in 2 weeks.
Thank you.